Okay guys, here to introduce you to the big worm. This name has caused a lot of division in our fly shop today, but that's what it is. It's the big freaking worm. And the reason why it's the big worm is because if you look at these rubber legs in the back here, they move at a whole different pace. So I'm pretty convinced that although everything else is moving super fast and wavy, and these rubber legs are just, you know, they're moving like a worm. And that's going to get them at the end of the day. That's going to get these winter steelhead to eat this thing and just irritate them, you know. So there you go. The big worm. We're going to tie it right about now. Okay, here we go with our classic tubing from Pro Sport Fisher, 50D from Vivas, and we're gonna tie an ugly steelhead bug. That's what we do here at Watershed Fly Shop. We focus on the effectiveness, not the looks of the bug. Alright, first things first, little dubbing ball. And we're gonna use Eat a Peach. Man, that seems like a good name for this fly, actually. Senyo probably named a fly Eat a Peach already. Named a cool package of dubbing Eat a Peach. Alright, spin it up. Get it going. Pick it out a little bit. Tie it off. Okay, so this thread is really hard to cut, but as you can see, Daddy got a new pair of scissors for Christmas. Early Christmas present. Tungsten Dr. Slick. These things are freaking money. Money, money, money. Love them. Golden Pheasant from Hairline. Take off, right now I'm just taking off the excess. Take it all off. You don't want to tie in the really thick stem because it's annoying to have to get that thing to set down. So we're going to tie it in by the tip. I know that our 3 YouTube subscribers have been really itching to see another fly tied, so sorry, I've been a little under the weather. And haven't been tying. So here we go. This is something kind of cool that I tied one, I think, yesterday, and I was like, man, that's a cool fly. We should tie that for the shop. Get that stem. Spread out the fibers a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now I think what I'm gonna do differently this time is tie in peachy pearl, kind of sticking with that theme a little bit on this fly. In this case, I'm going to turn this a little bit so that the stuff just sits on top, because I'm going to put some other material in there. Alright, so we're going to use Loco legs, shrimp pink, and we're going to tie them right up against the golden pheasant. My goal is to use this same set of them. So tie in it pretty tight there. Back in there. This guy on the other side. Notice they're kind of facing forward here. That is the old squid row idea. Okay. Grab them, go around. Get in there with my razor sharp tungsten scissors. Okay, that'll work. I've just got some ultra wire right here, and to keep these legs out of the way, just going to wrap it around the back of the fly. Okay, now I'm going to take this tube and I'm going to rotate it to this side. Alright, I'm going to throw in some horns, grizzly. And just put that bad boy right on top there. Throw another one. Right beside it. Okay. Tie the stems down. Okay. Take your body material and come on down the shank. I'm not putting anything, I'm not going to put any saddle hackle or anything over this body material. Just making a thin body, and it looks really good when it's just nice and thin. So here we go. Cut all that out. Okay, now for my front station, I'm going to put in a flexi bead, medium, ultra orange, and this is going to act as my prop. So I just quickly whip finish right here, right on top of your right on top of your body material. Get that off of there. Put your flexi bead on there. There we go. Now, again, this is acting as our prop. So we're going to put some ostrich in there. And I'm going to put a decent amount of ostrich in here. Got it pre-cut, and it's pink, and like a light pink, and kind of like a primrose almost, or I don't even know, it might have been just a bad white that didn't dye out very good. But it's kind of a cool color nonetheless. Sometimes the fly tying folks make mistakes, and they're not all bad. So I'm just spreading the ostrich out in the loop, and then I'll spin it on up. If you'd like to, you can fast forward through this part because it is a little bit tenuous, but you should. So what I do is I put my finger behind the ostrich, and then I manipulate it. And I've got a decent amount in here. And this particular ostrich was not straight, so that definitely makes it more difficult. But I kind of like it enough to where I'm willing to work with it. This would not be my suggestion if you haven't done this before. Make sure you get some really clean, good ostrich that's straight and doesn't have a bunch of curves in it, because this spot can be a little brutal to work with here. I should circle back to the rubber legs. Rubber legs are brutal to cast. I mean, if you have more than a couple on each side, you can really feel it. And so, that I think that's probably why the squid roe kind of maybe didn't last in popularity. Not that it doesn't work; it's a great fly, but it's just a little bit difficult to cast for folks. So my deal in any fly or fly design is just to make it easy to cast. That's number one. I mean, guiding Spey people is most of what I do is folks that haven't done a ton of Spey fishing, and so I'm just going to hold on to that and kind of let it turn when it wants to. Hopefully you can see that. That worked out better than I deserve, that's for sure. Especially for how stinking twisted how curved that ostrich is. Okay, I'm happy. I'm gonna make sure that they're aligned pretty well. Okay, here we go. So what I like to do is try to find kind of the natural curve of these bad boys, and and then comb it that direction. You can kind of move them around a little bit, and if they're not perfect, no big deal. Then I'll come in here and I'll cut some excess off. You'll find that when you spin ostrich or rhea or whatever you're doing, it actually sucks up the loop will suck up some of that material and give you some longer stems than what you started with. So it's no big deal. Just account for that. Okay, well, that'll work. And then you're just gonna put it right up against that bead. And I'm gonna keep it in there nice and tight. I'm gonna put a wrap right over the top of it. There we go. Okay, spread that out evenly-ish. Alright, come in there, clip the excess, if there is any, just a little bit. There we go. Kinda cool. It's always cool when it works out alright. That's maybe a hair longer than what I wanted, but I'm happy overall. Okay, next step. Actually, at this point, I'm gonna do my flash. I'm gonna do two strands of Flashabou pearl on each, on the top and the bottom. Okay. Here we go. Top, bottom, happy. Okay, and then this is from Fish Hunter, Nature Spirit, Spey Marabou, Primrose. Pretty cool little color. And, you know, part of the reason why we're tying this right now is because the river, as we speak, is the rivers, I should say, as we speak, are going to 12, 13, 14, 15 feet. Who knows what they'll end at. And so this is actually meant to kind of fish the soft inside. It's, even though it has that cone on it, it's not all that heavy. So this should be, we should be able to fish soft inside, and then if we see a bucket that we want to get it down into, then I'll throw a tungsten raw weight and on the back of it, and that will really help me get this thing down if I end up wanting to go that route. real nice. You could leave it just like that if you wanted to. Call it a day. Are we going to do that here at Watershed Fly Shop? Absolutely not. We're going to throw a couple more pieces of flash in on each side at this point. Just because I think it could use a little more flash. And I think, you know, God kind of creates things that match in nature. And not all the time, but most of the time. So I want to put one on each side at this point. You probably don't need to be as anal about flash as I am, but alright. That's ready to go. Be a good spot for a dab of glue, in all honesty. Okay, last but not least, shrimp pink schlappen. I'm going to tie it in by the tip, and my intention is for the schlappen to be kind of a little bit longer. Okay. Take your time when you tie this in. This is your finished product here. Schlappen's nice because when it ties in, it flares out just a little bit, so it doesn't mat down your marabou a whole lot. One more wrap and then I'm done. It's not intended to overwhelm the fly. Okay. Tie that tip down and we're ready to whip finish. Pretty cool fly, relatively easy to cast, and fishy. I mean, marabou, ostrich, hackles, rubber legs, are you kidding me? It's pretty much got everything you'll ever want. Because I like this fly a lot, I intend to fish it. I'm whip finishing 3 times. I will cut it and burn it and cut my rubber legs to desired length, which isn't going to be all the way in the back of the fly, but it'll be back there a little ways. It's probably good. The wiggle factor is definitely high on this guy. I wanted to name this fly the big worm, but I know Eli's always poo-pooing my cool ideas. You know what, Eli? Not this time. Not this time. Yep, that's a cool fly, guys. I can't say I made it up. I'm sure there's somebody that's done something similar. So don't get butthurt, anybody out there. Just take it for what it is. Another steelhead pattern. I'll cut this real quick. Burn it. Show you how I do that. Lighter. Good old Bic. And burn it pretty tight down to the... Then I put it right back on. Okay, there you go. Another steelhead pattern for your blown out, coming back into shape rivers. Eat it up.